What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we're going to be really talking about the Bt-11 format. We have 3 new decks to talk about, and maybe we might work on a weekly, more in-depth of breakdown of the top decks you'll want to play in that format. So without further ado, let's dive into the video. Remember, I also have a 7% for trading card mint down below, so definitely check that out. If you guys want a little bit off your sealed product, might help you out in the long game. So without further ado, let's dive into the video and talk about it. So this might be very interesting. Everyone wants to kind of test out new decks anyway before the meta kind of solidifies itself. But we do have a Bagra Army up on this list. So if you don't know what Bagra himself does, is on play when Digivolving. If your opponent has 1 or fewer Digimon in play, look at your opponent's hand, trash 1 card among it. So it's a Thoughtseize from Magic, but if your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, place 1 of your opponent's Digimon under 1 of your opponent's other Digimon as a bottom Digi-Evolution. All sources kind of fall off, so they don't kind of get like a giant Jagras situation. So you can take that big boss Digimon they built and put it underneath that rookie, and now they're kind of screwed. So it's not a bad turnout there. And all turns, when an opponent's Digimon Digivolves, or when an effect adds a card to your opponent's Digi-Evolution cards, adds cards to your opponent's Digi-Evolution card by trashing 1 card in this Digi-Evolution cards, trash the top of your opponent's security stack. So it really punishes if they're trying to sneak in sources or anything like that, or they're doing cross hearts shenanigans. This really does help out. A little punishment doesn't hurt, and Bagra is just really powerful in himself. I can't wait to see what they do with him further. So main boss hitter now. But you also have the backbone of this deck is UU. So all turns, when a purple card is placed under this tamer, draw a card, gain a memory. This helps extend your plays and keeps you going. And he is really the only way you get sources underneath your Digimon. So when you would play a level 4 or higher Digimon with Bagra and its traits, place up to 3 Digimon cards from under your tamers in that Digi-Evolution card. In that Digimon's Digi-Evolution card, reduce the play cost of that Digimon by 2 each place. So you can lower it by 6. Not bad, but if you have 2 UUs, you can activate both and make it almost free cost if you have 6 Digimon to put underneath there. Not a bad trade-off, I think. That's pretty powerful. Major things that we have to remember also is this card here, 2 Waterman. So this card gives decoy for Bagra Army, so that helps out. But all turns, your Yuyas cannot be deleted, which really helps out because that is kind of your biggest problem right now, is dealing with the Black War Greymon. And if you can't have a way of having your tamer survive, it's going to really just go popping out of here. So on deletion, also it has, you may play 1 Daemon from your trash, suspended without paying its memory cost. Not a bad trade-off. Can Digivolve on top of the same Damamon. So that's kind of useful there. But opponent's turn, when this Digi-Evolution card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. So really punishes a little bit of the blue plays too, because they like to strip sources. So now you gain some abilities there, but you also have that. Another big backup boss Digimon is Lilithmon. So on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, then add up to 2 cards with Bagra and its traits from your trash to your hand, and then place up to 2 Digimon with Bagra in their traits from your trash under 1 of your tamers. Not a bad trade-off. Being able to mill, it helps speed up the deck a little bit. It really needed that. An opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon moves from the breeding area by trashing 1 card in this Digi-Evolution card, that Digimon gains, when attacking, lose 3 memory. So this helps punish your opponent if they're trying to, OTK you. Make it so when it attacks, it'll instantly lose 3 memory. And that might help against the Garurumon decks, the Garurumon X. Just being able to punish them that much is really good. And then we have Masu Nightmon. So this card is treated as Dark Nightmon and 2 Waterman. So on play, when Digivolving, you may place 1 Digimon card with Nightmon in its name or Bagra in its traits from your hand or trash at the top of this Digi-Evolution cards. Then if this Digimon has Torwormon in its Digi-Evolution, Digivolve 3 of your opponent's Digimon. So that's really going to be useful. Being able to bring them smaller really does help out. And then on deletion, you may return up to 2 black or purple Digimon cards from your trash to your hand. And then Digicross 2, Dark Knightmon, and Toromon. So this thing is also treated as Dark Knightmon. So if you had 2 of this in hand, you can also Digicross that way. It's not a bad trade-off. I think that's very solid. Next, we do have Mad Leomon Armor Mode. So opponent's turn, when an effect adds a card to your opponent's hand by trashing one of this Digi-Evolution card, draw 2. So you get some card advantage that way. But on deletion, it has save. Digicross for a Mad Leo and 1 card with Bagra Army in his traits. So he can become in for a, 2 cost. Not a bad trade-off. And then when opponent's turn, when this Digi-Evolution card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. Not bad idea. Bad gains there. So you just get free memory gain that way. Then we have Troopamon. So opponent's turn, when an opponent plays a Digimon or Tamer by trashing one of this Digi-Evolution card, gain 1 memory. This can help pass the turn to you, especially when they try to OTK you. Not a bad trade-off. And then opponent's turn, when this Digimon card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. Great punishment there. Daemon. So Daemon is on play when Digivolving. If you don't have a Yuya in play, you may play 1 from your hand without paying some memory costs. Really useful. On deletion, save, and then when this Digi-Evolution card is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. I like it. The game memory is just the name of the game. Most of them just have this effect. So we're going to stop reading this. Most of them do have this gain 1 memory. Then you have on play by deleting this Digimon, reveal the top 5 cards. This is Chikorimon from Bt-11. By deleting this Digimon, reveal the top 5 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Bagra in its trait among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom deck in any order. On deletion, save. The fun shenanigans there. Then we have Chumon. Reveal 4 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Bagra in its trait and 1 Yuya among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. On deletion, save. And then when this Digimon is trashed by an effect, gain 1 memory. Then you have Birdmon. So by placing 1 Digimon card from your hand under one of your Tamers, draw a card. When attacking, this is constant. And then it's got save, and then it's got the gain 1 memory shenanigans. And then Tokomon is, if this is trashed by an effect, draw a card. So what's really nice about most of this deck is it's trying to, if your opponent plays A, you get to interact with B. It's trying to be an interactive deck, and it's going to be really awesome to see how this deck blooms. I think it needs 1 more wave of support before this deck really takes off, or it just hasn't found its perfect list. But you have Buzzing Fist, revealing the top 3 cards, add 1 card with Bagra and its traits among them, then trash the rest. You may place 1 Digimon with Bagra and its traits from your trash under one of your Tamers. Not a bad thing. It helps fuel the graveyard. And then this gets to play 1 of your Yuyas from your hand without paying its cost, then add it to hand. So you get plenty of value there. And then Astral Snatcher, probably a really powerful removal card. So you may place up to 3 Digimon cards with Bagra and its traits from your trash at the bottom of one of your Digimon's Digi-Evolutions, or the bottom of one of your Tamers. Then, if you have a Digimon or Tamer with Bagra and its traits, place 1 of your opponent's Digimon under one of your opponent's other Digimon as a bottom Digi-Evolution source. So that's a really good way of controlling. Astral Snatcher might see some play in Bellastar decks, but we'll have to see. The 7 cost is really nice. Outside of that, really Bagra in a nutshell. Basically, your opponent does something, I'm going to trash sources, gain memory, try to pass it to my turn. Just really nasty stuff. We have the updated Blue Flare. But Blue Flare is actually in 2 directions right now. Some are playing the Z Greymon, but most of them are playing the new Cyber Launcher. Let's talk about it first off. So the new card of this deck is Metal Greymon Cyber Launcher. So this Digimon is also treated as Metal Greymon and Cyber Dramon with Armor Purge. On play, when Digivolving, you may place 1 Digimon card with Blue Flare in its traits from your hand or under one of your Tamers at a bottom of this Digimon's Digi-Evolution. Then return 1 of your opponent's level 3s Digimon to the bottom of its owner's deck. If this Digimon has Cyber Dramon in its Digi-Evolution, return 1 level 4 or lower to your opponent's bottom deck. So this gets threats off the board, well, small ones that are trying to climb up. And then Digicross for 2, so it comes in for 4. Not a bad trade-off there. That's a very powerful skill anyway, and he can Digivolve on top of level 5 for 2. So, really useful there. Then we do have Zeeg Greymon himself. You can Digivolve on top of your Metal for 2, but 3 costs for any level 5s. It has 1 Digivolving on Suspend this Digimon, so this allows you to get another attack in. Then if this Digimon has Blue Flare or Crossheart in his traits in his Digi-Evolution cards, and your opponent has 2 or more Digimon, gain 2 memory. This might mean he comes in for a free Digi-Evolution. We'll have to see. Then on deletion save, then you may place 1 Greymon or Malbergermon from your trash under one of your tamers with General in its traits. Not bad. You know, that on deletion save is going to really help. And then opponent's turn as an inheritable. While this Digimon has Blue Flare in its trait, it gains blocker. Really what the deck kind of needed was some way of being able to survive an extra turn, and this really does help out there. Then Decker Greymon, we kind of know what he already does. On play, when Digivolving, you may place 1 Digimon card with Blue Flare in its traits from your hand under this, or from under your tamer to the bottom of this Digi-Evolution cards. Then if this Digimon has Decker in its Digi-Evolutions, one of your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. It has a Digicross with Metal and Decker Dramon, so really powerful. The deck is just really consistent. You know, you have Blaze Memory, reveal the top 6 cards from your deck, add up to 2 Blue Flares and their traits among them to your hand, then place 1 Kiraha among them from them without paying its memory cost. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order, then place this card into the battle area, and it has a memory boost function. Sorari, this card is just basically helps remove stack pieces, which is really important because you want to just prevent your opponent from doing things. Trash the top 4 cards of your opponent's Digi-Evolutions, and all your opponent's Digimon with no Digi-Evolution cannot attack until your opponent's end turns attack. So that really does help out, slows them down. They can block is the only exception. Christopher, aka Kiroha. Start a turn if you have 2 or less memory, set yourself to 3. Very powerful. And then when you would play a Digimon card with Digicross requirements, by suspending this tamer, you can also place cards from under your tamers as Digi-Evolutions for the Digicross. Not a bad trade-off there. Then you have like Sora Joe that gain you extensive memory gain status. You know, Decker Greymon, we already talked about. Metal Greymon, so this is Greymon and Malbergermon. Material save 2, and then on play, this Digimon gains Rush, so this is basically your lethal pusher. Then if you Digicross 3 of your opponent's Digimon with a number of Digi-Evolutions less than or equal to this Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. Not a bad trade-off there. Malbergermon, on play, if you have Kiraha. In play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand. If you don't have Kiraha in play, you may play 1 from your hand without paying its memory cost. On deletion save, and then while this Digimon has Blue Flare in its traits, your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play. Your opponent's Digimon cannot attack or block until the end of next turn. More stunning, really powerful. Decker Dramon, since everybody's on a wide board status, this card so much is a huge punish. And what do I mean by that? Have you ever wanted to drop a 5 cost that says draw as many as your opponent has on board? Well, this is ridiculous. On play, draw a card, then for each of your opponent's Digimon, draw a card. So, very much overpowered, but on deletion save. While your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, this Digimon gets plus 1000 DP. Then you have Greymon for searching. So on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add up to 2 cards with Blue Flare and its traits from among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. If you have a Kiroha in play, you may return 1 Metal Greymon from your trash to your hand instead. And then on deletion save. And then if this Digimon has Blue Flare in its traits, your opponent has 2 or more Digimon in play, unsuspend this Digimon. Not a bad trade-off. Madoki Beta, your opponent can't gain memory except with tamers. Sayukamon is basically to make sure that green can't just do its shenanigans. Vmon's a new card they added in. Play, reveal 3 cards from the top of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Vmon in its name or blue tamer card from among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. So it's basically your tamer digger. Not bad if you ever hard play it, but your turn, when you have a blue tamer, gain a memory. So this is just for stack building on the early game stuff. Not a bad trade-off there. You have Dracomon here, so it can Digivolve on top of a Bebeto. Doesn't need that here. But when you would play another Digimon with Dramon in its name, or Blue Flare and straight draw a card, really useful because you need to just continue drawing cards. Your turn, when you would play another Digimon with Dramon in its name, or Blue Flare in its straight, gain 1 memory. Not bad. Gaining that excess memory really does help out. Gussamon is basically lets you play your level 4s from your hand without any questions. They're coming suspended. Not a bad trade-off there. And then Waterman. So when attacking, if you have a blue tamer, draw a card. Finally, more draw value. That's really important sometimes. And that's what I think really some of this deck really needed, was just more draw value. Next, I think this stinks a little bit, but hey, we're going to talk about it. Poop Central did take a top over the weekend, but I don't expect this to keep going that way, but we'll have to see. So Meta Edemon is on play. When Digivolving, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You may play any number of Digimon cards with Chumon, Shukamon, or Edemon in its name among them to your hand, with a total play cost 7 or less without paying its memory cost. Not bad, I like it. Free cards, never terrible. You have Venusmon here to slow down your opponents, because minusing all their opponents. When Digivolving, minus all your opponent's Digimon gain minus security attack 1 until the end of the next turn. An opponent's turn, when an opponent's Digimon with a security minus attacks this Digimon, or cannot attack this Digimon, or activate any when Digivolving or when attacking effects those Digimon do not activate. Really hard preventatives here. And then you have Metal Edemon that just becomes like a 12k, but can't be blocked. So if they do have a blocker, you have a way out of it. And it's searchable by most of the pieces in the deck. It also using Tie to make your guys get a little beefier. Really useful because sometimes they're just way too weak. Pride Memory Boost, milling out, and hopefully playing your 4 costs, which you do play a lot of. And then Cootie Kicks. When you would play this card, if you have a Black Tamer in play, reduce the cost by 1. One of your Digimon, Numamon, Shukamon, Nanimon, or Edemon in its name, is unblockable and gains on deletion, gain 3 memory until the end of your opponent's next turn. Not a bad deal, because you spend 2, you gain 1 extra. Not bad. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Black Digimon card without paying, with a play cost 3 or less among them without paying its memory cost. Trash the rest. So basically what you're trying to do is spam the board a bit, but you're trying to speed up and get enough Shukamons in your trash to activate KingSukamon's ability. So what's really nasty about it is on play when Digivolving, if your opponent has 16 or more cards in trash, or if you have 3 or more cards with Shukamon, if you have in their names in trash, one of your opponent's Digimon becomes Shukamon, white 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's next turn. So this changes everything about it, by the way. So now it's a white card that can't Digivolve up, because there's not really much ways of you Digivolving on top of white. And then what's really nasty is it becomes a 3000 DP, but also when attacking for each other Digimon with Shukamon in its name in play, this Digimon gains security +1. Not bad. But also, as it's inheritable, when this Digimon would be deleted, by deleting another Digimon with Shukamon in its name from the field, prevent its deletion. So, not a bad trade-off there. Just being able to prevent stuff, but being able to turn your Digimon into, your opponent's Digimon into poop. Really fun. I think this is going to be more of a fun tier deck, but we'll have to see what time says. Because again, it has a control value in it that's not in many decks. Because again, I love the 16 or more cards in trash. That kind of references Shukamon's way you Digivolve in Digimon World 3. And most, actually, Digimon World games anyway. It's got the 16 in the poop gauge. You basically turn into a Shukamon. So, that's something to look forward to. Then you have Edemon on play when Digivolving by trashing 1 card with Shukamon in its name from your hand or from this Digi-Evolution card. One of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP and security -1. Really helps out, especially with Venusmon. And then when this Digimon would be deleted, by deleting another Digimon with Shukamon in its name from the field, prevent that deletion. Really useful, very powerful protection. So, something to think about. And then we have Shukamon here. On deletion, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Chumon, Shukamon, or Edemon in its name among them to your hand. Trash the rest. And then has the preventative skill for just being able to delete a Shukamon on board. Nanimon comes in for surprises if hitting security. Mecha Nori's just being able to slow down your opponent's Rookie Rush status. And just being able to block so much is really useful. Shukamon from Bt-11 on deletion, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play 1 Chumon among them without paying its memory cost. Place the rain cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. So there's plenty of Chumons to pick from. And then we have Jurimon. So this card is also treated as Numamon. By trashing 1 card with Numamon, Shukamon, Nanimon, or Edemon from its name from your hand, draw 2 cards. Your draw fodders here. Not a bad trade-off. Then you have Chumon here. So when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Shukamon in its name, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So basically guaranteeing that these guys come in for a 1 cost evolve. Not bad. And then if this Digimon has Shukamon or Edemon in its name, you may play one Chumon from your trash suspended without paying its memory cost. Sets you up, recycles pieces. Dorumon at the end of the battle revealed the top card of your security. If that top card of your deck, if that is a black Digimon with a play cost 4 or less, you may play it without paying its memory cost. Add the remaining cards to your hand, and then add this card to hand. Not a bad trade-off for a security rookie. Chumon prevents memory gain shenanigans. Pagumon, and basically Black's only real draw engine in the rookie department. And let's talk about the picks here. So Omnimon Ultra S, when Digivolving, you de-Digivolve the board. Really helps out, gets rid of threats sometimes. Then delete all your opponent's Digimon with 15,000 DP or less. Not bad, especially if you turn him into a Shukamon and then de-Digivolve. That's hilarious because it blows up. When attacking, you may make this Digimon unblockable for the turn by returning 1 level 6 to your hand. Not bad, making him unblockable gets lethal in. Sword Defeat, just basically surprise Digimon, but also can pop your opponent's tamers, and then on deletion, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. And then you have Omnimon Merciful Mode, Digivolving for 3 with an Omnimon, so Ultra S, even Merciful Mode, anything like that just goes off. And then when Digivolving for each of your cards with Mega Ends Digievolution traits, if this Digimon Digievolution card, delete one of your opponent's Digimon, then place 10 cards from your opponent's trash at the bottom of their deck in any order. Not bad. And then start a turn, trash the top card of this Digimon. If you do, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Free security removal. Not bad. This card cannot just trash itself if there's no sources, by the way. Heads up. So, what did you guys think of this week's list picks? Let me know down in the comment. We know it's Tuesday, so it's always fun just to look at all the JP's fun shenanigans. Without further ado, hopefully you liked the video. Hit that subscribe button. Stay safe, stay healthy, and you know the drill here. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace!